So President Trump takes steps to make America the global leader in AI and crypto by appointing former PayPal COO Dave Sachs and he's the White House AI czar as well as a crypto czar. Can he do both? How can we win this race against China and integrate into research and development everything that we learn, everything that we know, and also make sure it gets to the battlefield? Defense advocate, a guy that's got a lot of respect in Washington and around the country and certainly in Silicon Valley, joins us now, former Wisconsin congressman who has got another job now. He's head of defense at Palantir, and he's a Hudson Institute fellow. Mike Gallagher, who's out at the Reagan Defense Forum. Great to see you, Congressman. I hear you loving your new job. First off, how do you feel about a czar of AI and crypto?
Well, I think it's a great idea. David Sachs is incredibly smart, and I think it's very smart of President Trump to form these relationships with the tech community, whether it's with Sachs, whether it's with Elon, whether it's with leaders at my company, Palantir, like our CTO, Shyam Sankar. Building that bridge between the cutting edge of the tech sector and the government is essential because we can't do what China does, right? We don't want to do it. We don't want the government to control everything. We need to find a way for the private sector and the public sector to partner collectively. I think this is also great news, the Sachs appointment in particular, for those who want America to be the epicenter of innovation for crypto. So if Congress can step up and pass a sensible legislation that unleashes market forces, that does simple things like define the role of the SEC versus the CFTC, I think we'll be in a great position. And then on AI, that's where the Pentagon needs to step up and take the lead and at least spend more money on AI. Right now, it spends about 2.2% of its budget on AI. We should at least be getting towards 2% of the budget.
So interesting. You're on the outside. You're a Marine. You fight in the wars. You came out. You tried to find out and you get involved in foreign policy. But as you try to stay cutting edge, you look at the Pentagon. As much respect as I have for people that work there, they failed 7 audits, and they've been called slow and plotting by people on the inside, like 4-star General Jack Keane. How do we get your cutting edge people into the Pentagon and move together to make us a stronger force?
At least 3 ways, Brian. The first is it does start with leadership from the White House and the Secretary of Defense. The bureaucracy will resist change unless the Secretary of Defense, backed by a powerful president, wakes up every single day and forces the change to happen. That's the lesson of Secretary Gates and the MRAP. That's the lesson of Melvin Laird and the rise of the all-volunteer military. That's the lesson of Reagan's 600-ship Navy. You need that basic leadership in place. The second thing, we can make it easier for those who are in the tech sector to come and serve in a non-traditional reserve capacity. The Pentagon actually has the authority right now to do this, but it doesn't use that authority aggressively and creatively enough. The final thing I would say is we just need to be clear-eyed about the nature of the threat we're facing. The Chinese Communist Party wants to displace us as the world-leading power, and they want to dominate the commanding heights of critical technology, to include AI, to include quantum. We cannot allow that to happen. We have to work with our allies and partners to ensure that we dominate the commanding heights of critical technology and therefore prevent the dystopian future that the Chinese Communist Party wants not only for its own people, but to export around the world from becoming the reality in 5 years from now.
And you are announcing something big, too, Palantir, at the Reagan Defense Forum, too, correct?
Yes, we are partnering with Anduril, the other biggest non-traditional defense company, to launch basically an AI Manhattan project where we're going to collect all of the data that is sitting at the edge that is currently evaporating, it's being wasted, beam it into our enterprise software, apply artificial intelligence to it, and make it useful and actionable to the warfighter. For a modest investment of resources, we can actually make a quantum leap in technology and give the warfighters the absolute best tools and weapons they need to accomplish the mission and come home safe. Ask yourself, if we truly believe that Xi Jinping was going to invade Taiwan in 2027, how would we act differently than we're acting right now? Well, we would put the Pentagon on a war footing, and America's best technology companies, whether they're defense technology companies or purely commercial companies, would work together to deliver for America's warfighters so that we don't actually have to fight a war with China. In order to prevent World War III, we need to put the Pentagon on a war footing, and the private sector needs to step up, which is what Anduril and Palantir are doing with this big strategic partnership.
Yeah, but people like, and it can't fault them, that don't understand AI, and very few people do, how are they supposed to integrate it into the armed forces? I mean, there's only a handful of people at your level that get it, right?
Well, there is a fluency issue, which is why I think the Pentagon needs to stop trying to build a lot of these tools internally. There's actually a law that requires them to look to commercially available software. There's a commercial preference embedded into the law, and they violate this law continually. They try to do all these software hobby projects internally. They waste time. They waste resources. The cutting edge is in the private sector right now, so that's the challenge. How do we harness the cutting edge in the private sector, bring it into the Pentagon, and have that collaborative working environment rather than the Pentagon trying to build everything internally or hiring consultants that don't know how to do it?
Yeah, the polls show in the Reagan Defense Forum that a lot of people believe in this country. They want to support Ukraine, they want a strong defense, and they want America to lead the world. So I feel good about that. I know you do too. Enjoy this weekend out in California. Thanks so much for taking a break and joining us, Mike Gallagher. Great to see you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.